Take a deep breath, right now. A deep, long breath, filling your lungs to the brim. What do you feel? Is it that faint trace of dust in your room? Maybe the subtle, bitter scent of the coffee you left on the desk this morning? Or the smell of your own skin, the clothes you're wearing right now? The exhaust fumes from a car passing by on the street? Or maybe that familiar, warm steam rising from a meal in the next room? Now, stop. Imagine all of this shutting down, suddenly, right this second. It's 7 a.m., you're in the kitchen. The water is boiling on the stove. You pour the coffee into your mug. The steam hits your face. You feel the heat on your skin, but that familiar, roasted, warm sensation is gone. Just an empty, meaningless mass of gas enters your nose. Zero. Nothing. You step outside. The rain just stopped. The asphalt is wet. The dirt has turned to mud. Someone walks past you, takes a deep breath and says, "The air smells so good." You just stare at the wet stones. There are only colors and shapes. A second ago, one of the most fundamental, primal bonds of your life snapped. Do you realize it? The most primitive bridge between you and the world just collapsed. You're no longer an outside observer. You are right in the middle of this void. A name was spoken, Anosmia, and you are no longer the old you. The wet mass of flesh in your skull only understands the world through electrical signals. Sight goes through a filter. Light enters your eyes, goes to the back of your brain, gets inverted, passed through logic filters, and processed. Hearing is analyzed, filtered. When you hear a word, your brain gives it meaning first. But smell? The olfactory nerve, that tiny web of cranial nerves, pierces right through the cribriform plate at the roof of your nose and plunges directly into the most primitive, darkest centers of your brain. The amygdala, the hippocampus. Uncensored, unfiltered. Logic is offline. It's pure evolutionary instinct. A massive neuroscience study done at Rockefeller University in 2014 proved that a human can distinguish more than 1 trillion different scents. 1 trillion. Think about that invisible, silent ocean of data swirling around you right now. And right now, you are stranded in the middle of this massive ocean, craving a single drop of water. Anosmia isn't just a condition of not being able to smell. That word doesn't do it justice. It's a neurological isolation cell. Your brain's limbic system, the motherboard of your emotions and memories, suddenly cuts off the data flow. You look at life like an unplugged, pitch-black computer screen. You wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and think you're still the same person. Wrong. You're diminished. You are incomplete. Let's look at the timeline. Let's see how you rot, step by step. The first 24 hours, you just think your nose is stuffed. A heavy cold, maybe a passing infection. You tell yourself it'll pass. The human brain doesn't accept loss immediately. It's coded to deceive itself. Hundreds of thousands of years of evolution refuse to believe that connection could be completely severed, that your biological plug to the universe could just be pulled. You think you'll wake up and it'll be over. Day 3, you're at a restaurant. They place your favorite meal in front of you, that meat, marinated for hours, smoking, covered in sauce. You poke your fork in, you put it in your mouth, you chew, and right then, something shatters in your brain. The sound of thin glass breaking. You are chewing cardboard. It's a warm, wet mud with texture but absolutely no character, no soul. You know it's salty. Your tongue tells you it's sour or sweet, hot or cold, but there is no flavor. That miracle you call flavor, that artistic experience, is 80% smell. Now, that magnificent plate on the table is no different from a wet paper towel. You swallow, and at that moment you understand. Eating is no longer a pleasure. Eating is not a celebration. It's just a mechanical, disgusting chore required to keep a biological machine alive. Chew and swallow. Chew and swallow, like a piece of meat stripped of its soul. Week 2. The danger begins. Evolution kept you alive through smell. For millions of years you survived by smelling the smoke of a fire, rotting meat, predators, poisonous plants. You are here today because your ancestors woke up in a cave when they smelled an approaching predator. Smell was your radar in the dark. Now imagine waking up in the middle of the night. Something is burning inside the house. A thin black smoke is rising from an outlet. Your family in the next room, your dog, the neighbors down the street. Everyone has already caught that sharp, bitter smell of burning plastic. Everyone's brain is sounding the run alarm. You keep sleeping. You feel absolutely nothing until the flames are at your door, until your skin feels that heat. See that? Smell was your invisible shield. Now you are completely naked. You are like blind prey in the middle of a forest, defenseless. You open the fridge. You pour milk into a glass. Is it spoiled? The color looks normal. But what about the inside? You can't know. On that thin line between getting nourished and getting poisoned, you are completely blind. Every meal is Russian roulette. Every breath is a potential threat. And you know what's worse? Your own scent. Humans are social creatures. We are deathly afraid of smelling bad, of being an outcast, of causing disgust. Now think, are you sweating? Does your breath smell? Is the sweater you're wearing smelling like mildew? You can't know. Paranoia takes root right here. Right in this silence. You start taking 3 showers a day. You become terrified of getting too close to people, of hugging them, of whispering. You build an invisible wall between yourself and the world. Social death comes long before physical death. You quietly commit suicide. Your brain is going to want to delete this video, this dark feeling, within 24 hours. The truth is heavy. Running away is easy. Subscribe. I will keep remembering that darkness, those truths you run away from, for you. Month 6. This is exactly where the madness begins. In medicine, they call it phantosmia, phantom smell. Your brain has been deprived of olfactory signals for so long that, like an inmate in solitary confinement hallucinating in the dark, it starts generating its own signals. It can't stand the silence. It makes things up. It goes insane. You're sitting down. Everything is normal. Suddenly you smell an intense, throat-burning, eye-watering stench of garbage. Or burning rubber, rotting meat, a dead rat. You look around. You panic. Nobody else smells a thing. Your brain is playing tricks on you. It's manufacturing nightmares to fill that dark, endless void. Even if you were in the most beautiful garden on earth, your mind makes you smell corpses. You are held hostage inside your own brain, trapped between the narrow walls of your own skull. You have nowhere to run. Year 1. It's no longer about food, danger, fire, or paranoia. It's about memory. Where do you think memory lives? In photo albums? In the pixels on your phone? In digital videos? No. You hug your mother. That familiar scent, the one that made you feel safe since childhood, is gone. That tenderness in the crook of her neck is missing. You're just hugging a body made of flesh and bone, a pile of muscle. It's no different from hugging a plastic mannequin in a store. Your ex's perfume walks past you on the street. Before, your heart would skip a beat. Your brain would instantly throw you back 5 years to that rainy day, that last fight, or that first kiss, those intense feelings. You'd feel like you got punched in the gut. Now, a flat line of silence, an empty asphalt road. Your memories are locked. Your hippocampus, that massive library of memories, cannot open those doors without the scent key. Your childhood home. The sweet smell of the eraser in elementary school, the freshness of seaweed hitting your face by the sea, the smell of old tobacco on your father's jacket, all erased. You just look at your own life from the outside, like looking at Polaroid photos, as if you're watching someone else's life. You can't step inside it. You know those memories belong to you, but you don't feel them. No tears, no heartbeat. You are now a tourist in your own past. If there is no smell, there is no past. There is no emotion. There is only a mechanical pile of data. You are in front of this screen right now. You blink, you swallow, you breathe, completely unaware of anything. While you watch this video, the chair you're sitting on, the room, your own breath, the glass of water on your desk, even the metallic build of the phone in your hand has a scent. And your brain is constantly processing this in the background right now. It's feeding you millions of invisible data points a second. You're safe, it says. This is your space. Everything is fine. You're home. What are you doing right now? Stop, really. Stop. I'm breaking the fourth wall. You, watching this video right now, smell the air around you. Forget that blue screen for just 1 second. Realize that you are swimming in that invisible ocean. Because when you lose it, all that will be left is a massive, deafening silence. And that silence is far more terrifying than screaming at the top of your lungs. Silence drives you mad. What is your biggest fear in life? Going blind? Not being able to walk? Never hearing sounds, music, or your loved one's voice ever again? Cancer? What about the snapping of that thin, invisible thread of your existence? Your soul's contact with the world dropping to zero? If you were never, ever going to smell your favorite scent again right now, the most precious scent in your life, what would it be? The wet dirt after the rain? The yellowed pages of an old book? Or the neck of the person you love? Your child's hair? Write it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. Leave that single memory, that single scent you don't want erased, right there. Because unless you write it down, unless you make it concrete, it too is doomed to slowly fade away in the dark depths of your mind, to vanish into that void. Our minds are designed to forget. Engrave it there. Leave a mark. Don't ask me how does it go away. How does it get fixed? What medical drug should I take? Do nerves regenerate? Is there a surgery? No, I misspoke. That's not the question that needs to be asked. I'm not going to offer you a medical solution. I'm not going to give you sugar-coated advice. I won't pump you full of hope. Because once that void opens, once that invisible biological rope between you and the world snaps, all that is left is you and the scentless, soulless ghosts of your memories. Depression quietly sneaks into the room right at this point. It sits on the edge of your bed. Psychological studies show that the rate of severe major depression and suicidal tendencies in people who lose their sense of smell can be higher than other sensory losses, even blindness. Do you know why? Because nobody can see what you've lost. If you were blind, they would help you, take your arm. If you were deaf, they would enter your world with sign language. They would try to connect with you. But anosmia is an invisible disability. You walk among people, you are completely normal. You smile, you talk, you go to work, you attend meetings, but you watch the world from inside a thick, impenetrable, cold glass jar. You see life flowing by in all its color behind that glass, but you can never touch it. The texture of the world is lost. Your soul is trapped inside your body. What do you think makes a person attractive? Their smile, their eyes, their jawline, their intelligence, their charisma? Did you ever notice? When you fall in love with someone, you are actually smelling their genetic code. Pheromones, the major histocompatibility complex MHC genes. Those silent chemical messengers give direct commands to your brain. This is the right person, it says. Their immune system is different from yours. Mate and survive. Produce healthy generations. We are no different from the animal kingdom. Can someone with anosmia fall in love? Yes. They can form a bond of affection. They can have a logical partnership. But that wild, inexplicable, logic-defying, butterfly-inducing primal attraction? That attraction is now behind a locked door. Relationships become mechanical. People turn into mere visual objects. text messages, communicating robots. Social isolation isn't a choice, it becomes an inevitable end. You can't share the pleasure of the same meal with anyone. You can't say, let's go to that new pizza place. You can't share in anyone's memory. When you're sitting in a cafe and they say, it smells like freshly roasted coffee in here, you just smile blankly. You just fake it. You slowly, quietly fade out of this world that was once yours. This world you breathe in. Life turns into a black and white, silent movie, and you're just an extra in that movie, like a ghost. This algorithm is mapping your mind. It watches what you click, what you watch, how long you stay on the screen. Liking this video only feeds those gears. I know. I am part of the system too. I am one of those gears. Press it anyway. Let the gears keep turning. Think about your perception of time. How do you feel time? By looking at clocks? No. When the seasons change, when that sharp frost of winter walks through your door, when flower pollen mixes into the air in spring, when the warm, steamy smell of summer rain hits your nose, anosmia stops time. Months pass, years pass, but they are all the same. Because the character of the air never changes. The hot mud of summer and the icy asphalt of winter are the same meaningless mass of gas. Because your contact with the world has flatlined, you start collapsing inward. That massive black hole inside you slowly swallows your entire personality, all your joy, your entire will to live. You just become a shell that looks normal on the outside, but is completely rotten on the inside. In the next video, we will see how your brain ruthlessly shreds, manipulates, and rewrites those memories with lies while you sleep. You will question how much you can trust your own mind, your own memory. Manage to stay awake until then. All the color, all the depth, and all the memory of life was hidden inside that single breath you didn't even notice. And you will only realize how massive it was when that breath is completely empty.